am doing an update. It is February 11th, I believe. I apologize, I haven't done any updates lately. As most people know, I work in retail, and lately I had some shocking work situations that I had to deal with, and then also just getting people's vacations in before the end of the year, and it was a lot of this or that going on. So being kind of unavailable to do anything except for hang out with my husband and dog in my free time. So update for the last video, which I believe was in September. My surgery was November something, for like the first week, and I got my breasticles. So very excited about how they turned out. Dr. Shestak did a wonderful job. I can't say enough about it. Well, I should say Dr. Shestak and his whole team, because I would like to shout out that Autumn really did a lot of hard work to make sure that he gave me the enormous breasticles that I requested, because she told me that he tried to rear back a little bit, and she said, oh no, Marcia was clear. If she's going to have these fake boobs after beating cancer, they're going to be huge. And I was like, yes! So the whole team I'm very supportive of. I love them to death. So just some notes I had, for anyone that is going to be, rewind, had a bilateral mastectomy, which means both of my breasts are out. So there was a time where I had expanders, so they would fill it periodically. I was really nervous because those expanders, the actual breast was really, really hard. It was really, if anyone's seen 40-Year-Old Virgin, where he just describes them as bags of sand, like, it used to make me laugh, but that's honestly like what I would think of is like bags of sand. So I will say that I did get silicone implants, and before anyone freaks out about silicone implants, it's a different silicone that they used to use back in the day. My husband did a ton of research, and anyone who knows Brian Whistle knows that it was exhaustive research. My actual surgeon himself, explained a lot of those woes that we could have. So I'm not going to go into that because I'm not a medical professional. Figure it out on your own, or from your own doctor. A couple of things that I would say is, although I'm really happy with my current breasts and how they came out, I really wish I would have taken a photo of like my original breasts. And I didn't do it at the time because in my mind, me thinking the worst thing possible is if I end up with some sort of Frankenstein titty, I don't want to have to see what anyone who saw them said were great breasts, besides the cancer. But I liked my boobs before. There's nothing wrong with them except for that they were trying to kill me. So when I had to get new ones, I didn't want to look at this and then maybe I had a Frankenstein situation. So I am lucky enough that I do not have that situation. So now I'm like, my husband and I don't really remember what they looked like before. And is there a difference? I mean, I definitely feel like they're larger than they were. But I just want to see how much of a difference it is. And that's more because I'm just, a weirdo that likes to obsess over things. So that's one note I think I would say for anyone who's going to do this type of surgery, is to take the before picture, even if you're afraid of it. Maybe give it to your mom or your husband or partner or whatever your game is. Because I think that would have been something I would have liked to have. I probably wouldn't want it on my phone, because during the scary parts from surgery to like now that they're like live and like normal boobs, I don't know that I would have wanted to be obsessing over it. Plus I'm kind of irresponsible and probably would have texted it to somebody on accident, so can't be trusted. So that is definitely a note that I would definitely say. And then my surgery was, like I said, the first week in November. I want to say 6th or 7th, something of that nature. And I went on my first, I did like a trot one night with my dog, and it was like, we were down the street and we bolted it up the street. Like, it was not a run. We were just like playing around, but it didn't hurt, which got, I was really excited about, because anyone who's been a part of my game is like I haven't been able to run. Again, not a marathoner, not anything that's like super serious. My sister-in-law is like running like 5 miles a day or something. I'd sooner die. I would sooner die. But I like to be able to run like a couple, like 3 miles. 3 miles is like my sweet spot. But I haven't been able to do that. I was actually getting really into it right before I got my diagnosis, and then I kind of went to my dark place and was eating my feelings and maybe have some cocktails and doing that rather than running. So I've been really excited because here in Pittsburgh, the weather decided to give us our first round of spring like a week ago. So, I mean, 'cause that's totally normal. The first week of February, here 60 degrees. So naturally, you know, we were outside with the dog and I took her on a run, and it was rough. It was it was not my best run. I mean, some might say it had been like I hadn't ran in approximately a year and a half. And, excuse me. And it absolutely felt like that. It was like a perpetual kick in the nuts if I had them, but you know what I'm saying. So it was really rough, but I think my excitement about being able to just do it, because that was the hardest thing all last summer, is even if I had a good day, I was like, or I could just do nothing. And then when I had the initial surgery, and then I couldn't do anything, and there's just so many rules, and it's, I didn't want to mess anything up like permanently and then have like a Frankenstein, like this boob dropped and this boob's still normal. You know what I'm trying to say there. That was really exciting. Other subjects. So that's all that my surgical updates. Boobs are mostly normal. They're enormous, so adjust your expectations if you see them. I think that's everything as far as the surgery goes. So chemo. So I have, my last chemo was May of 18. So obviously my hair is completely back and it's straight again. So I don't know if you saw the earlier video or seen any pictures of me, but like it was like real thick and coarse and had like this cool curl to it. And yeah, as usual, that was not meant for me to keep. I just got out of the shower right now, so it's looking very Brian Lateral from Brian. I'm not sure if I am pronouncing his last name correctly, but from the Backstreet Boys, circa like 1995. It was like, I want it that way. Tell me why. Yeah, it's really bad. So normally I have some like product in it, but since I'm off work today, I'm not trying to be about that life and like, because when I wake up and it's like this, which I guess is normal for boy hair, or I guess short hair. I shouldn't say boy hair, that's rude. But like, Brian wakes up like this sometimes, and I'm like, what's happening like here? And gets really offended. But yeah, so now I have this haircut, and I am keeping it for the foreseeable future. Probably not like much longer than like a year, but I figure I'm never gonna chop my hair off like this again. And it is like either like being this short or being the long hair I used to have. They're both super easy, because if I wake up and I don't have time to do anything, I put water on this, I carry some goop that I take to work, and I call it a day. When I had the really long hair, I would just run out the door, and I had hair ties on my shifter thing in my car. I'd hair ties at work. I'd hair ties everywhere, and I'd just throw it up into a knot. So everything between this and that is a fucking nightmare. And so I'm just like not even like in the like mindset to be trying to deal with that. So I'm just leaving it. Also, I get to pretend like I'm like really cool and trendy, because I don't like to tell people that I had cancer, because then they like, and it's like really annoying. I'm over it. But I am keeping the hair short. Other things post chemo, looked down today out of the corner of my eye, and I thought this was a worm. So I don't know why worm came to my mind, but all I saw was like the dark spot. It like startled me when I was trying to relax. My friend did give me this Correct X ointment. I'm trying it out. She said she really liked it. She actually had a breast reduction, but very similar cuts and as far as depth and whatnot. So I'm trying it out. Admittedly, I'm not really that consistent with things, so I'm trying to be more consistent so I can give a good like response if I actually like it or not. So we shall see. My toenails are mostly normal. Still not the greatest. I just trimmed them. Stand by. Sorry. So, still a little rough. Can you see them? It's not good. I guess I could just do... I don't know how this thing works. Anyway, yeah, so they're still kind of like a third of them is still black, which is not cute. But I mean, I just paint them and call it a day. But sometimes I forget about it, and when I take the nail polish off, and my sister-in-law was in town, and I was like, oh, sorry, I had to look at a dead toenail. It's not really dead, but that's what I call it. So yeah, that's over. There is this guy at work. He's a vendor, so I see him like, he's in my store once a week. I probably see him once a month, like not that often. But he keeps asking me how I'm feeling. And I keep telling people like, oh, it's all over. I'm back to normal, blah, 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 which is normally the like note, hey, stop asking me about it. Because it's like not a thing. Like it's, the cancer's over. Hopefully. So he just keeps talking about cancer. And he has a horrible story, which I won't share, but it's like, oh, like my cancer was like laughable compared to like this story that he's telling about his nephew, who's like a young child. And it just makes me like sick to my stomach every day. And I want to be like, can you stop? Like, of course, I give him my best wishes for the child, because I mean, what soulless person would not do that? But I'm like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're like telling me about a sick kid. Like, I didn't sign up for sick kids. You know, I'm not a nurse for a reason, you know? So like, I'm just like, oh, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. So anyone who sees this, do not tell anyone that I had cancer if you're trying to talk to someone else about cancer, because, oh my God, they probably want to punch you in the face. But that's just me. Maybe I'm just a touch difficult. I don't know. I don't know a lot of cancer people. So the only other cancer person I kind of know of is my friend of a friend that gave me this. And but she's just as sassy as I am, so I don't really know that, you know, she'd be a good, you know, soundboard for that. Last things that are coming, or actually most recent, my mom and my sister Michelle just had their my sister had her bilateral mastectomies, and mom did the thing with her ovaries. Again, not a medical professional, but obviously mom's not having any more kids, as I'm 32. Ooh, almost 32, not quite. But Michelle had her bilateral mastectomy. She did where they take your own body matter and reshape it into your breast. As of right now, she's very happy with it. Unfortunately, have not been able to get up there, but I'm going to go up there probably next week and over there and go see her, see how she's doing, watch Netflix, eat too many snacks, you know, all the usual Lozano things that we do. Shout out to Michelle if you're watching. And yeah, just nagging Melissa. So if anyone sees Melissa, nag her to get herself scheduled. You're welcome, Melissa. And then lastly, Brian and I are hopefully going to be getting a house at the end of this summer. For those of you who don't know, we live in a hood-adjacent apartment. We love it. It's a cute apartment. I used to say beautiful, but when the ceiling fell in on me, I changed it from beautiful to cute. It's served its purpose. It is a big apartment. Sophie, Brian, and I have been very happy. But it's definitely time to go. We're definitely ready for a house. We're about probably 2 years past being ready for a house, but you know, cancer slowed us down a little bit. And yeah, so I mean, that's our next like exciting thing is, you know, getting that going, and probably getting a second dog, because that was the deal that I had to wait. But when we got a house, I can get a second dog. So what do you think about that, Soph? Can you see her? Nope. There she is. Soph! Maybe a dog that likes me. That might be my first option. So I don't think I have anything else. I mean, it's been probably be another couple months before I update anything. Sorry, my camera workmanship is not going to be that great, because I'm also not going to edit this. I'm just going to put it up because, frankly, I don't feel like it. And I don't have any pictures to add in. I probably could put pictures of my toenails on, but I really think you don't need it. I mean, just picture something gross, and that's what my toenails look like. But only a third, top third. So, all right. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via Facebook, email, text, or in person, or through my mother-in-law. Thank you very much.